Morning, my name is Ricardo Díaz. I'm the Global Sustainability Manager for Ground Support. I'm here working for Sandvik 9 years in the next month.
Why is sustainability such a central part in Sandvik's long-term strategy?
In our case, Sandvik has a very specific strategy, and one of the central points is the sustainability, because when we evaluate all the cases, obviously we had linked directly with the finance, the social, environmental, and the other aspect. But in this case, it's very important to understand that sustainability assures the continuance of the business in the market. It's very important, that part.
What are the main sustainability actions your company is implementing internally and across the supply chain?
Sandvik has specific resources to evaluate internal process and to understand how we can implement actions to develop the sustainability aspect to reach the goal for the 2050 in this case. We have to take specific steps. We have to define the policy objectives and to train all the employees about that. The roadmap for this case is very specific. We have 3 specific actions to reduce the scope 1 emissions in our internal processes. Scope 2 is related to the energy that we are using in this case. And Scope 3 is related with the raw materials, with the supplier and customers, and the transportation. That's a very important issue. The specific initiative in the regions that we implement all the production sites is according to the energy consumption. So we generate almost 1.8 gigawatts of green energy for our own. We project in the next 10 years to reduce at least 80% of the energy generated by our own in production site. About the raw materials, we work in some cases with specific suppliers that we are recycling all the raw materials with steel manufacturing in this case. So all the scrap that we manufacture or obtain in our process, we return to the suppliers. Suppliers reprocess and send us steel as a raw material. We are looking in the market for the new green process to obtain the steel. For example, to pass for the blast furnace to electric arc furnace. This is a part of the process. It's very specific and a very big issue for us to reduce to net zero the aspect of the steel.
What are the biggest challenges you are facing in making industry more sustainable?
The big issue for us is Scope 3, is the transportation of the materials between our suppliers to our warehouse and our warehouses directly to the customers. For example, we can buy some green steel, but we have to move from the supplier from China, for example, to Europe. It has a very big emissions in the transportation. So that's why it's a very big issue for us. This is a very specific challenge that we have in the next 5 or 10 years. So you know that when we start with the new technologies, obviously the price of that, the final product that we obtain of that technology is very high. We see the statistics. In this case, if you want to buy a green steel, you have to pay 3 times or 5 times more than the actual condition of the steel. So we hope that in the next 3 years, the price of the steel will reduce. We see that we have a new technology to obtain that kind of steel. So I think that the projection is for in the next 3 or 5 years will reduce to acceptable levels for the finance aspect of the company to balance that kind of material to be more green for that part, and for the other side to take care with the business. The specific balance is very sensitive about the raw materials. So that's why we are seeing in the market different options of the steel that they provide. Let me tell you that it's very interesting that point, because we have the possibility as a Sandvik that to get more continuous improvement, because we are doing now benchmarking between all the operations.
How are employees reacting to the company's sustainability transformation?
So when I visit the different sites in different countries, I'm very happy to see that the employees, all the teams are committed with this initiative. To act is not only theory, it's with real actions with the people from here, from over there, and they see the results. So that's convince them in this case. It's very important to remark this because all the people in different countries has a very high commitment with that. It's very important for us. That's why we level up the standards of the operation. So that's why we see the market, we see the competence, and we see the other aspect that we we can obtain more positive aspect in the benchmarking with all the companies. In our case, we lead the aspect of the sustainability in the market between different companies. So if you see the market and you see the customers, feedback is very positive. So we are happy with that. So it's very important that we push up in this aspect to continuous improvement in that case.
What personally motivates you to keep pushing for sustainability in such a complex industry?
In my 30 years, I saw different conditions, different situations in different countries. And the companies that they don't take the decision to implement some sustainability tool in the business, stop the operations, and they don't grow up. So it's very important that part, because Sandvik has a very high standard. So we have the resources to implement that master plan in sustainability. I'm highly motivated with that because I see the results. I see the final effect when you implement sustainability in the company. So that's why when I start in Sandvik 8 years ago, I project what will be interesting to do here in some tools, for example. And sustainability is the right way. So we have step by step, action by action, and we saw the results. This is the real result of this action. The board of directors and all the teams listen to you. So you can put some ideas in the table. And they evaluate and consider, hey, perfect, it's a good idea, go with that.
If we imagine our industry of the future in 2050, what does it look like to you?
In the next years, we are talking about the next 25 years. It's very important to know where we are now, because we have an actual condition for the new technologies. So in the next steps, in the next years, it could be better future for us, automation, equality aspect of the work for the people, to take care for the environmental resources. It's very important because we have to balance where we are and what we are using from the environment to finally in the next years. I see the very green future for us.
What message would you share with other industrial companies just starting their sustainability journey?
All the companies has sustainability as a very center aspect because it's the base of the business. We have to study the market and to stay in the business. This is a sustainability of the business. But in this case, environmental is a specific element that is very critical in this moment to finally to decide if the company stay in the market or not. It's very important that part.